under divine protection and guided by divine truth. A call of remembrance and unconditional love goes forth to all who are connected to this lineage. A call to all who form part of its greater story. To all ancestors known and unknown, remembered and forgotten, recognized and unrecognized, named and unnamed. Through all generations, all branches, all bloodlines, ancestral lines, family lines, soul lineages, spiritual lineages, and original lineages connected to this lineage. Across all timelines, dimensions, realities, realms, worlds, planes of existence, levels of consciousness and spaces known and unknown, seen and unseen. To the unrecognized children, the hidden children. The children born in secrecy, whose existence was concealed, whose names were never spoken. The children separated from their families, the children given up for adoption, removed from family stories, the children lost before birth, the children who departed in early life. An inviting embrace awaits you. Open hearts welcome you. A place of love awaits you. To the forgotten mothers, the hidden mothers, the mothers whose names no longer reach every branch of the family, the mothers whose lives continue to belong to the greater story of this lineage. Grace accompanies you. To the unrecognized fathers, the forgotten fathers, the fathers whose stories faded from memory, the fathers whose names are no longer spoken, you are welcomed with dignity. To the forgotten brothers and sisters, the half-brothers and half-sisters no one speaks about, the forgotten descendants, the overlooked heirs, the family branches that became separated and difficult to trace from the rest of the lineages that faded from memory, the ancestors whose names disappeared and whose resting places are no longer known, the ancestors whose contributions were not carried forward into later generations. Tender hearts welcome you. All that is not of the lineage, not of its authentic inheritance, not of its authentic bonds, and not of its authentic story is brought into the light and removed from its pathways. Every impostor, false presence, parasitic influence, intrusion, imitation, distortion, occupation, interference, and misplaced attachment loses its hold and its place. What is not truly part of the lineage can no longer stand where it does not belong, and only what is authentic remains free to occupy its rightful place within the living story of the family. As the path toward reunion opens, restoration moves through them and through the spaces that have witnessed their story. The burdens gathered through exile, imprisonment, rejection, hardship, silence, and separation begin to fall away. What has long been held apart is gently prepared to re-enter the living heart of the family story, where forgiveness, reconciliation, and restoration are ready to unfold. May they find their place within this lineage. What has become distant is gently drawn closer. What has lived in separation is invited back into connection. What has wandered beyond the reach of remembrance is softly called home. What was left outside the family story is welcomed back into its living heart. What was forgotten is remembered. What was unseen is finally recognized. What was carried in silence is met with understanding. What was held alone is welcomed back into belonging. Those who were pushed aside are remembered. Those who were rejected are acknowledged. Those who were cast out are invited back into the story. Those who were abandoned, excluded, disowned, or left behind are seen once more. Those who were silenced are given space within the memory of the lineage. Those who were exiled are gently called home. Those who were banished are welcomed back into belonging. Those who were trapped, imprisoned, confined, or held apart are invited toward freedom. Those who became lost within the movements of the lineage are invited back into recognition. Those whose place was forgotten are remembered. What was scattered across generations begins to gather. What was carried in fragments begins to return to wholeness. What remained divided begins to move toward reunion. What seemed lost begins to find its way back. And as these movements of restoration unfold, the family remembers more of itself, more of its people, more of its stories, more of its forgotten are remembered. The excluded are welcomed. The displaced are restored. The lost are found, the separated are reunited, until all who belong are once again free to stand within the living embrace of the family story, recognized, remembered, connected, and held within the greater whole from which they were never truly separate. And may this lineage stand stronger, richer, and more complete through all who belong to its greater story. And so, with love, remembrance, and restoration, this call is complete, sealed in light.